ethical issues concerning data analysis in healthcare. This is a part of Assignments 2 in the ICT unit. So, yeah, as an introduction, here mainly, as per the assignment requirement, I'm mainly case study 4 peer-reviewed publications. Here is a summary of publications. First one, I choose mainly. I'm here choosing healthcare sector as a discipline in order to analyze the ethical issues over data analytics and data related privacy and area. So my first publication is about healthcare social networks. These networks are related to patients and healthcare professionals who use this for track patients' records and as well as about the medical data on other related medical issue areas, including the research and everything. And for the second article, it's mainly about the wireless healthcare monitoring systems. And here I'm pointing out the ethical issues over that. These monitoring systems like mainly used in hospitals, like pressure meters, glucose meters, and some scanners and heart rate monitors like that. And the third one is about the self-aware tracking devices like the smart watches and kind of a smart app using smart phones to track our health records like pulse rate and the areas related to health. That one also concerning the privacy. So here I'm discussing about that. And the fourth one, it's a kind of a special one related to children. Here I noticed that this case study and this article describes about the smart toys and objects of kind of smart devices to use to track health data of children with development difficulties. This is a kind of a special project. So here also they discuss a lot of facts about privacy and ethics and related areas. So that's a summary of my 4 peer review publications. So I choose this in order to cover the healthcare sector in a broad way. That's why I choose these 4 type of articles. Here the article names I mentioned publication 1, 2, 3, and 4 with their actual names. So when it comes to publication 1, as I mentioned in the summary, this is mainly related to healthcare social network site. It's called SNS, and here these tools and services used to help to communicate among healthcare professionals as well as the general public to share with their kind of virtual communities about the healthcare related information. Sometimes these kind of systems used for researching purpose because a lot of data available here, and also they use data analytics to get future to help with the future researchers as well. So here the main thing is these kind of systems contains a lot of data on the patient's records. So it's a privacy side. It's a huge risk because if someone or some malicious parties mainly try to hack these kind of data, and it will be harmful even individuals as well as the organizations as well. So that's why when it comes to ethics, it creates a set of ethical issues over data privacy, since it's collecting, storing, sharing, and analyzing health data to patients by accessing digital health data profiles. So in this article, they argue that set of precautions and data protections should be, taken place in order to protect data privacy among these systems. So also they mentioned about some legal aspects as well. And then this publication recommend set of standards to implement in order to maintain the proper ethical environment among these projects. And that is about the publication 1. Then I move to publication 2. It's also related to healthcare, but it's a different aspect. We have mainly discussed the wireless healthcare monitoring systems. These are available in hospitals. A lot of these are Internet of Things. These it contains with these are integrated with the systems, health systems. So here, a lot of things are measuring about the human body. And sometimes you see MRI scans, sometimes heart rate trackers and glucometers and a lot of other advanced scanning things also there. So these kind of data are captured, and here this article shows that this should be done with a proper uh, safety and privacy measures, because it says if this article recommend for the mainly for the producers and the manufacturers of these devices to how to comply with relevant necessary privacy precautions when accessing patients' data, because these are patients' data. This can be, used for analysis purpose to identify diseases and identify about the specific uh, health conditions, but it's a good side of that. But when it comes to privacy, if this goes to a third party, and it will be harm for the everyone. So that's why it mainly concerned about the privacy concern. Here it says, in the contents of healthcare and remote health monitoring, it is crucial a systematic approach for security and privacy measures must be used in device manufacturing, interconnecting things, communication, data handling and storage, and restrictions of such devices and data. This article examines the current state of security and privacy of the Internet of Things in healthcare systems, the challenges encountered in implementing security frameworks, and advocate security and privacy solution. They mainly suggest a solution how to overcome the risk and how to maintain a proper ethical solutions in order to maintain the proper privacy about health data. And in my third publication, it's a different topic that's also related to healthcare. In this article, it mainly consider about kind of smart devices and smart tools related to which help to track health data. It's mainly related to health data of children with development difficulties. So these children couldn't communicate properly. So in that case, they use set of smart devices to kind of toys to track their development difficulties and symptoms and kind of disease symptoms. So in that case, these data directly linked to the patient data and this children's data. So in that case, these kind of a children's health data should be handled with extra care in security wise. So that's why this article mentioned a lot of uh, protection, data protection mechanisms, as well as a lot of ethical aspects, as well as the legal aspects of how should we handle these kind of projects with the proper ethical and security aspects. That's how it mentioned. Here I'm saying a couple of quotes. Here, these This project name is EDUCERE, and objects are to investigate, develop, and evaluate innovative solutions for society to detect changes in psychometers development through the natural interaction of children with toys and everyday objects, and perform simulation and early attention actively in a real environment such as home and school. As per the article, it mentioned a set of smart devices and everyday objects are used to capture sensitive health data of children by detecting development difficulties in children. These include the use of prototype of smart devices and detect development difficulties. And so those are the, high sensitivity areas. So that's why this publication mainly put a lot of recommendations about the ethical and security uh, measures about this project. So that's about the publication 3. And in the publication 4, that's also in health sector. But here we are concerning about, this article concerning about the self-wearable health devices such as smartwatch and smart devices like phones with kind of a health tracking sensors. So these things even we use every day when we are doing exercises or to track our health records. So the main concern is how do we know whether they assure the privacy and the data security over these health records, because this is a large set of health records related to individuals' heart rate or their blood pressure or whatever the things. It should be in the private. It should be care with the additional data protection precaution. So this article mainly describes how should we handle these data, what should be taken to assure its privacy, and how does it use to avoid ethical issues if someone had these data. So a lot of recommendations available here as well. Here it says when it comes to the courts, this article discussed the ethical and data privacy issues of wearable self-tracking devices, which are used to capture multi-dimensional health data and offer several advantages, includes new way, facilitating research and data analytics. This lot of data helpful for data analytics and research purpose because it's a large set of data and those are accurate. So in this also it discussed the conflicts between individuals' interest of avoiding privacy harms and collective interest of assembling and using large health data set for public benefits. So when it comes to data analytics and research, most of the health data generated through above mentioned sources and can create potential issues over the privacy and ethics of individuals. So here this article and the scholars argue for privacy, for accountability mechanism to resolve these conflicts, and they ask to they argue about the transparency, where the data comes from and how does it store, and what are the security measures, and what will happen if something data breach happens. So that kind of things they analyze here. In addition to this article explain how important it is to ensure that the users can engage in collective participation and share their health data in a lower risk of privacy harms like that. Also, it argues that digital health data controllers should owe their data subjects. They say that the specific these data control should have their own data subject and they should compile with relevant certifications or whatever the privacy things in order to use these kind of services, or in order to offer these kind of services. That's about 4 publications. And here, as a summary, here describing the all findings from all 4 articles. And here, as a summary, these publications discuss the need to implement specific technologies and systems to protect the health data in order to ensure maximum privacy, because the data privacy is really high because of the healthcare industry. It's a high risk. So that's why they ask to ensure maximum privacy. Here also it suggests to collect the personal health data in a minimum and limited way based on the actual requirement, because sometimes they ask a lot of data regardless of their requirements, so it should not happen. So some articles are arguing that point. And also it suggests that the data anonymization techniques must be taken place. That means some data should not go with their private names and their addresses and stuff. That means since these are health data, if we use this data for research purpose, it should be anonymous. In that case, they don't know this data belongs to who, the person or as an individual. They don't have any. They suggest to use that kind of techniques. Also, they say that it should be, I mean, in a comes with a within their cost when they're allocating budgets. Also, it should avoid the potential risk for privacy breaches that's mentioned in here as well. And also, when it's come to the other things, they mainly concern about the transparency when collecting and storing data, because it should be properly documented, or it should be properly mentioned how you manage data, how you store data, and then only the trust build up within the public as well as the organizations in handling data. And additionally, it recommends monitoring and auditing data breaches and recommends many data privacy compliances requirements, including legal aspects such as the GDPR. It's kind of a data protection thing, legal thing goes with the European region. So as well as in Australia, there's a Privacy Act. Here, some of the articles mention these legal aspects as well, and they recommend sort of things to establish in order to make sure that proper ethical solutions in order to maintain the privacy of data. As a conclusion, all 4 publications mainly discuss ethical impact on personal health data, because the medical health data are highly targeted by malicious parties when it comes to security breaches and data. It creates ethical issues. These malicious parties can be the third parties can be a pharmaceutical industries, or can be a insurance industry, can be a different political or different international bodies. Some are trying to hack these data for different purposes. So that's why they say the majority of the security breaches and data privacy issues are reported in the medical sector. Medical data are highly targeted by malware and human intervention for financial benefits and theft of personal sensitive medical data for third parties to use. So this is a kind of a main risk we have with health data. So that's why they are highlighting all articles. And the main objective of all 4 publications is to recommend taking necessary precautions when processing individuals' health data, because without having proper ethical measures, data breaches can be harmful for organizations, individuals, children, society, as well as the entire nation. So finally, it says, these all 4 publications says how privacy protection and good ethical consideration make it good for all parties, including businesses, individuals, customers, and to make trust among each other to reduce the risk of data breaches and cost incurred with data breaches. Because if we implement these kind of proper ethical and privacy policies and solutions among these projects. So it will help to uh, avoid data breaches, and it will save the data breaches incurred cost, because it will, if something happens, it costs a lot to take investigation, take necessary actions, as well as claims and a lot of things. So if we did this kind of analysis during the project, it will good for everyone, and it will build the trust among public as well as the organizations in order to use the proper privacy uh, among they are doing the online or kind of a data related things in uh, healthcare or any other discipline.